You always know that when it comes to Super Mario Bros. Movie news, I will be there to cover it, and that's why we're here tonight, because we have a brand new news update, a surprising one, about the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, because apparently it's had a title change. We know this thanks to NBC Universal that recently put out an article, I say recently, like this was like 20 minutes ago, covering their upcoming slate of movies for 2025, and as it turns out, if you scroll on down too far, apparently, if you scroll on down to right above the Wicked section, they talk about their slate of films coming this year, including Super Mario World, along with Shrek, Minions, and many others. Now, this is different, because that's not the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, that is Super Mario World, and that suggests that the movie has apparently had a title change. Now, before we get too deep into the weeds on this, part of me is wondering, is this a mistake? Like, did some intern accidentally write Mario World because that's just what they knew? So, I'm not 100% sure if this is a guaranteed change, because it is such a weird alteration compared to the first movie, which is the Super Mario Brothers movie. Very clear in branding. But is this just Super Mario World, or is it Super Mario World the movie? I don't know, but it's odd to drop the movie from the SEO friendly title. So I'm not 100% sure if this is fully right, even though we have no reason to doubt it at this point, because again, this is as official as it gets. It's on NBCUniversal.com. I'll link to it in the description below, but that is the basic news we have for you, is that the movie may now be called Super Mario World, which is really interesting for a few different reasons. One, it suggests that Yoshi will play a major role, because that's where Yoshi got a start, which makes sense considering Yoshi had a post-credits tease in the first movie, suggesting that he would, play a greater role in the second one. So that really seems to be re-emphasized here by Super Mario World. Next, it makes me wonder if that will give us an idea as to where else, or not necessarily where else we'll be going in this world, but how much more of the world we'll be seeing. But if they're calling it Super Mario World, I'm thinking this is going to be a globe-trotting adventure. And then that makes me think, could there be the Koopalings here? Like, we have to go, I wish, if Mario had to go to each of the kingdoms and stop, like, the Koopalings to get to Bowser himself, or, who knows what it is. But then that also makes me think, if we're going to all these different regions, well, Daisy, right? She's the ruler of a whole different region, but in Sarasa Land, and then we know that in Mario Kart World, another world by the way, that that not only are Super Mario Land enemies back, which are from Sarasa Land that we haven't seen since then, but also the palace in the desert there in that same region now has a Daisy emblem on it, which again reinforces her being the ruler of a desert kingdom, aka Sarasa Land, making me think that would tie in perfectly with a Super Mario World. But beyond all this, it makes me think of what's next, because if we're going from the Mario movie to Super Mario World, well, we can't do 64, so maybe Mario Galaxy, is that the next one in line? Which then makes me think, we're going in deep on this, I told you before we went in too deep, we're doing it though, that makes me think then that Rosalina may be possibly coming up in the third one, or possibly teased in this one with a greater emphasis in Super Mario Galaxy being the next one on the way. Again though, this is pure speculation, who even knows at this point. I will say though, I do like the title. I love Mario World, I like the title Mario World. We have Mario Kart World now, it kind of makes sense at this point. And I think it's just a fun title, and it does roll off the tongue better than Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, even though again, it's hard for me to think that they are abandoning that name entirely, because it's weird. Just because it's such a clear name, it's like Switch 2, Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. So maybe this will be a subtitle of it, like Super Mario World, the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2, or something of that nature. I would be surprised if they're dropping it entirely, just as Shrek probably isn't called Shrek by itself. In any case, if this ends up being wrong, we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure, if this was somehow a mistake, but again, we have no reason to believe it is. It seems like Super Mario World may in fact be the title, and it makes me excited as to the full implications of that. But yeah, at this point, I'm thinking Yoshi, big role, maybe Koopalings, again, tying into the world idea, but again, not necessarily, it could be other things too. There were no hints of the Koopalings really in the first movie at all, so they could go any number of directions here, but at the least, I do think there's going to be a globe-trotting element to this, where we're going to be seeing far beyond the Mushroom Kingdom, and that is really exciting, because there could be other kingdoms too, other lands, and again, at the least, Sarasa Land and Daisy. So that's all I've got for you right now. I'm sure more ideas will occur to me as soon as we finish up this video, but let me know in the comments what you think as well, as I'd love to talk, or I'd love to see your ideas, and maybe talk about them more in a discussion possibly, if it warrants it. Alright, I'm done here everyone, thanks for watching, we'll catch you later. Bye everyone!